A little of this and a little of that, that's NOSH. Food and fun with Carrie Altiero and Lainey Stiles. Brought to you by Fiore, artisan olive oils and vinegars.
Hi, I'm Carrie Altiero, here with Lainey Stiles on NOSH. A decade ago, only restaurant chefs were crazed and somewhat deglazed about balsamic vinegars. Now you can find many brands stocked on market shelves everywhere. But do you really know about what you're buying?
Today we are going to learn about the 3 grades of balsamic and how to tell the difference between the aging process, the origin, and the regulating bodies that govern balsamic.
That sounds a little complicated and maybe somewhat overregulated, so I'm really glad that Pat O'Brien from Fiore Artisan Olive Oils and Vinegars is joining us to explain.
This is a 6-year-old balsamic vinegar. It's used as an everyday condiment, but it's 100% cooked grape juice.
That's not all. Later in the show, we will be here in the NOSH kitchen cooking and pickling with balsamic vinegar. We have to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be joining Pat O'Brien at Fiore, so stay with us for more NOSH.
You're watching NOSH, brought to you by Fiore, artisan olive oils and vinegars.
Welcome back to NOSH with Lainey Stiles and me, Carrie Altiero. Aged and authentic balsamic vinegar is truly an exquisite thing, and yet it's hard to find among the masses of labeling conventions and misleading naming.
Today we are at Fiore Artisan Olive Oils and Vinegars with Pat O'Brien. Thank you for hosting us here, Pat, and I'm hoping that you can help us define and decipher what the difference is between the different balsamics.
I'll make it simple for you, Lainey.
Please.
So what's widely available is traditional balsamic vinegar of Modena in the grocery store is typically aged wine vinegar with caramel colors and sugars and things like that, even if it says balsamic vinegar of Modena. Then you step up to balsamico condimento, which is what we have here at Fiore. It's traditional style balsamic, a combination of various agings of Trebbiano grape juice that's cooked. It can be traditional style, dark colored, or white, where they don't cook it or age it as long. And then the third level is the tradizionale, which is the cooked grape juice. Trebbiano grapes are used, the juice is cooked, and then it's aged by about 80 families now in the Modena area. It's governed by the consortium in Modena, and it's only available in a 100 milliliter bottle.
All right, so if you are wondering what kind of balsamic that you're looking at, you're going to know a few key characteristics about the bottle, price, and some labeling. Yes,
the tradizionale is that's controlled by the consortium in Modena is bottled by the consortium in a 100 milliliter bottle like this. The label is put on by the consortium, they number it, they keep a retained sample, and then they seal it with their numbering system and so forth. And then the producer can label it and then sell it. So we're the exclusive North American agent for the Villa San Donnino. He's a friend of ours that we met about 6 years ago, and we're the only ones in America that sell his Tradizionale, so we're very proud of that.
Okay, so yeah, so I've seen a lot of the barrels that you have here in the shop, and those are the traditional barrels, and they're a small range of barrels, but different sizes. How do those work?
There's 5 barrels in what's called a batteria, and so the barrels are made of various types of wood, from oak, chestnut, cherry, mulberry, juniper, and they're of different sizes. So the large barrel is about 80 liters capacity, the smallest one is about 10. And so the juice is put in there, and it's aged for a minimum of 12 years through a process of topping off from what's been evaporated every year. And then at the 12th year, that's the first time that you can take the juice and bring it to the consortium. And so that first juice is called affinato. And so that's what this one is here. And then at a minimum of 25 years, it's designated extra vecchio, or extra old. Okay. And so that's what this one here is. The one here this is a 6-year-old balsamic vinegar, which is 100% cooked grape juice, and it's not controlled by the consortium, but it's produced by the Villa San Donnino under the name Neroni. And it's used as an everyday condiment, but it's 100% cooked grape juice.
Okay. And so when you get to this level here, the 12 years and the 25 years, they much pricier than what you would see on any normal store shelf, and that's another key factor besides the bottle and the designation by the consortium. And so what's sort of the range of pricing here?
So if you compare it to condimento, so traditional style condimento, whether it's the dark or the white that we have here, typically 375 milliliters of that is about $20.
Okay.
100 milliliters of the affinato, which is the 12-year, is about $75, $80.
Okay, so the definite
So there's a
difference.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, if you think about it, it's juice that hasn't been able to be touched for 12 years. So there's a lot of work and time and aging that goes into this. At 25 years, the extra vecchio then takes another step up. So this is about $100, $125, $135.
Okay.
But if you see this, even with this, in America, there's been a lot of price fixing, if you want to call that. You should never pay more than $150 for even the extra vecchio.
I think I know what Carrie's thinking right now. He's like, what does this taste like for $100?
Well, that's certainly one of the things. But when you're talking about the tradition, say that again for me.
Tradizionale.
Thank you, Pat. We use him for that all the time. That these are not something you're going to dump all over a salad. These are really specific things, and that's like a drizzle on a steak, because it looks like this is something you serve with an eyedropper, while your condimento is like your everyday salad dressing. Maybe marinate a steak in it, do stuff like that. While this stuff is really a finishing piece and really has specific flavor. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
I want to taste this.
That's right. So the condimento is an everyday salads, marinades, that kind of thing, as well as the Neroni that's only 6 years, but it's straight Trebbiano grape juice. That can be used as a condiment. But when you get into the affinato and the extra vecchio, you're right. They just use it a drop or two at a time. So if you'd like to take a spoon, I'll give you a little taste here.
So are there guys running around Modena with like under their jackets saying, "Here, I got some of this vinegar here," you know?
No, it's pretty well regulated, because the consortium knows each family that produces it, how many barrels they have, so they can understand how much capacity they have every year. So only a certain amount of juice can come from the Villa San Donnino, for example, every year. So
So I can't get this on the black web or
Not
dark
on the
web.
street.
It's not out there. This is not out there.
but they sell it in the stores, and
I'm not buying this with Bitcoin or anything.
so this is the Neroni. This is 6 years.
Whoa, the smell itself.
Yeah, if you think about it, it's been aged in various types of wood, and it's strictly cooked grape juice. The cooking concentrates the sugars, turns the color to brownish red, because the juice is initially clear.
So you're getting a bit of fruitiness and a lot of caramelization in there.
Yeah,
And
so you
it's
start
very
to pick
strong.
up. Yeah.
You don't need a lot.
No, you don't need a lot. So now here's the 12-year, the affinato.
Okay.
This is pretty cool.
You can see that it's more viscous than
Look at that. Look
than
at
the 6 year.
So you have
The
mouthfeel
thickness.
comes into this then too. Wow, that's
Thickness,
really.
and it's going to sit up on your food
I'm
as
getting
well.
that too. I'm not letting
No
that get away.
ounce. Right, exactly.
We're not wasting anything here.
Oh yeah, that really coats your palate a bit more.
Deeper.
It is deeper. Yeah, intensity there.
Wow.
All right, so this is the extra vecchio. This is aged a minimum
goods,
of
man.
25 years. So this juice, some of it is over 50 years in the barrels.
Wow.
But in Modena, with the consortium, it's extra vecchio is a minimum of 25 years. So if you also see extra vecchio 50 years, extra vecchio 75 years, and these prices go up, people are playing it.
Right. So,
Wow.
So I can say that I have shoes and vinegar older than you to my son. If I can do this, is that what's going to happen? Okay, well, I'm on that. Let's try this one.
Wow, that is amazing.
Yeah, the tradition behind, one of
Whoa.
the traditions, isn't that great?
Yeah.
Well, I want to jump up and dance around. That's incredible.
Well, it's interesting. There's this little zinginess to the back of your palate, and right on your tongue there. So, and on top of it being very smooth, it's amazing. So, Pat, I know that you have you actually have your own vinegar brewing over in Italy?
Well, it's part of the tradition. One of the traditions is that when the female child was born to the family, they would start a batteria the next season. So, and then over the years, that batteria would be topped off, and then after 12 years, the juice gets taken into the bottles. But that batteria will pass with the female when she gets married over to the new family.
Heck of a dowry there.
Oh yeah. So it's very good. So 2 years ago, I went over and with Davide, I bought the barrels and I started a batteria for my granddaughter.
Who are you marrying there, dude?
She's 7 now, so I got a little behind on it, but the timing will be when she gets out of high school in 12 years. I'll take her over there and we'll take the first bottles from the batteria.
Oh, that's a great story. That's a great story, Pat.
So there you are. It's served just like this. Few drops on the Parmigiano, please.
Oh, it looks great. And we've got to leave it right there, Pat. But when we come back, join Carrie and me in the NOSH kitchen where we will be cooking and doing some pickling with balsamic vinegar.
Stay with us for more NOSH.
You're watching NOSH, brought to you by Fiori, artisan olive oils and vinegars.
Welcome back to NOSH with Carrie Altiero and me, Lainey Stiles. Our introduction to balsamic vinegar and condimento had us thinking about using vinegar for more than just salad dressings, and Carrie has it hot over here.
Yeah, we're going to do a couple of interesting things today. We're making a dish, but the first part of this dish and the really essential part is how we're going to use this beautiful white balsamic vinegar that has...
Woo!
Can you smell that?
Yeah.
And the
That has a little-
jalapeno.
Oh, jalapeno. I knew I was getting a kick out of there, but I wasn't quite sure what it was.
So what we're doing is we're going to do a quick pickle and a little hot pickling so it accelerates that process. So the dish we're going to do is a crispy beef with hot pickles and a fried egg. So we're going to start off with putting the beef in the pan, smoke alarm, will it go off, who knows? And we're going to start doing some of the warm pickling. So we're going to start with some of the more rugged ingredients, which is, thank you Lainey.
Garlic.
Put some garlic in there. We're going to turn up our flame just a little bit. While all this is happening over here, we're going to put our garlic in there, and I'll start infusing the vinegar with that. We'll add the onion.
Now it's nice. I see that it's the white balsamic that has the flavor to it. So you're not discoloring your garlic and all of your pickling ingredients right now, but you're giving that nice flavor.
Yeah, I think that's what we're doing. We're infusing the vinegar with those flavors and vice versa, infusing the product with the vinegar itself too. So we're kind of doing I don't know, is this Southwestern? I don't even know what this is, but you know, it would be a nice thing for our viewers to email us or go to our Facebook page and try to name this dish actually, because we don't actually know what it is. And this is the first time it's ever existed right here with you and I.
Just creating as you go.
As we go. Okay, so we're going to add some of the more heavy-duty things to the vinegar.
Oh, that's beautiful. What is that?
I don't know, I found it underneath the cabinet over there the other day. Okay, what it is, it's a watermelon radish. So is it a watermelon or is it a radish?
I don't know. It looks like the size of a rat. Well, it's kind of in between, but it is absolutely beautiful. It's going to give a really nice color to this pickle.
It's a pink. It's a looking good. So that is, it's a radish, and it has the colors of the watermelon. I'm sure that somewhere, wherever they grow this, they don't call it a watermelon radish, they just call it a radish. Because, you know, back in the day, some of the books would call cilantro Chinese parsley, so who knows who names what. So we're having the beef over here, and we're going to add a little bit of olive oil to that, just to get it a little crispy.
Getting some dark caramelizing going on in there.
Oh, yeah. We'll try to get some flames later. We'll see how that one goes. So over here we have the eggs. And these are nice local brown eggs. We're familiar with those in New England. And with this kind of dish, I like to have the edge of the egg get a little crispy, which is not what you want to do if you're a breakfast cook. We don't allow that part. It should be nice and smooth. But I like that kind of fried egg thing going on. Okay. How's the pickle?
It's starting to come together here, but I think we have a few more ingredients to add.
Well, let's add some, because happiness is in fact a warm pickle. Okay, so let's try this one. We'll add the sweet red peppers. That'll give us another color thing going on. Oh, look at the egg over here. Look at this. We're doing all this. Is this like spinning those plates on a stick?
You have a lot of pans going over here, Carrie.
We're going pretty well there. We're going to park that one. We're crisping this one. We're pickling this one. What else do we got left? Oh,
Brussels sprouts?
the teeny cabbages. Okay, let's put some of that in there.
You know what I really like? This is almost like going to the farmer's market and not sure what you're going to find there, but sort of picking out different colors, different textures, and you're kind of using it all. You have fresh eggs, you have fresh vegetables here.
You're saying it looks like I don't know what I'm doing and didn't plan this well, Lainey? Is that what's going on?
No, I think it looks like you have a perfect plan here, so you're really pulling it off today.
The magic of television. Here we are. We're crisping this beef up.
So tell me how long the pickle needs to warm up here.
It can be any variety of things, and what you have left over will also not even be bad 3 or 4 days from now. It'll be great 3 or 4 days from now. It'll have the pickle to it. It'll have the vinegar. It'll have all the flavors. So you can use it fresh out of the pan or like next week.
Okay, I want you to hold that thought, and I'm going to use some of this pickling in the next dish that we do.
Excellent. We'll do that. Well, I have just a couple things to add to the pickling liquid, and then we're going to get right on with Lainey's stuff. What I'm doing here is just a quick finish, fresh oregano to give it a little background flavor.
Oh.
We're going to add some fresh spinach that is lightly oiled to give
Good
us some
colors.
green. And then when we're ready to plate, we'll put these cucumbers in. But I want to know about what you got going on here, Lainey. What do you
Okay,
have?
all right. Well, I'm going to make some pork carnitas because I think this is going to be dynamite with that pickling on top. All right, so first of all, I have a pan I'm heating up a pan here. I have a little bit of oil going on in there, a little of this Arbequina olive oil, okay? And what I want to do is get a nice hot pan here while I'm getting my pork ready because we're going to sear the pork. So I have a pork butt here, and basically I'm just going to give it, I'm not going to quite cube it, but I'm just going to cut it up a little bit so it cooks a little bit faster for us. So I'm just going to kind of quarter it here. And one of the main reasons why I like to cut the pork butt when we do it this way is I want to get a lot of the nice flavors all over the side of it. So I'm going to salt it. I'm going to use a generous amount of salt. I'm going to do a little bit of pepper on here, just some ground black pepper. You got to love that, a little spice to it.
Same old grind.
And then I have some oregano. I'm going to give it some of that. I have a little bit of cumin here, and I like cumin, so I'm a little heavy-handed with it. But if you don't, just use a little bit. You don't need too much. And then I have a little bit of allspice.
So you're essentially making a dry rub.
I am.
It's a dry rub, and it's dry. It's a dry rub.
You got it, Carrie. All right, so I'm just going to turn this a little bit, really kind of press that in. Woo, we do have a hot pan now, and that's exactly what we're looking for because we want to sear this. I'm going to drop it right in. Woo, sizzle.
So your searing gives you a caramelization on the outside, which is a depth of flavor for our folks at home.
Yes, it sure does. I'm getting some nice flavor going on there because I want all those little bits and pieces from all that rub going on the outside of here.
So it cooks the spices, it browns the outside, you get some of the pork fat out of there.
Exactly. Yes, you want pork fat. So if you're wondering if you want fat on the outside, you want it because it's going to give some nice flavor and nice color going on in here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to sear this on the outside. Again, we're looking for some nice brown color. I have a little bit going on right here. These pieces are still cooking. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn them once now that I get some brown on the outside. Here we go.
And a pork butt is not actually what you might think is a butt. It's actually a pork shoulder.
Yes.
So I don't know who's in the naming game here, but whatever.
All right. Once I've got that going, I have a little bit of garlic here, and I'm just going to take a peel off of it. I'm going to give it a little bit of a smash. And I just want
on the garlic, kids.
Just want a little flavor going on there, and I'm going to cover this with water.
And why are you boiling this pork here? What's the deal with that?
Basically, I want it to soften up. Let's get that water in there, and then it'll be a little quieter for us. All right. So,
calm down.
Yeah. So this is going to need to cook for about an hour. Basically, you want it really tender so that you can pull that pork apart, okay?
Not medium rare. You want to take this way on the other side of things.
Exactly. Okay. If it's tough, if you put a fork in it and it feels tough, it is not done yet. You want it falling apart, okay?
Excellent, excellent.
All right, I'm going to slide that one over. I'm going to slide one that I've already been cooking here for a while. Let's get my heat turned off.
Let me check.
How's your pickle going?
My pickling is looking pretty cool. It's got great colors.
Excellent.
Oh, we have the finished pork thing here?
Yeah.
Okay, this looks great.
I cooked a little of this earlier.
Okay.
It's still in the water here, you can see, and we could drain that off, but I wanted to keep it nice and moist while I was waiting for us to basically pull this apart. So I'm just looking for this pulled pork effect, and I have all these nice seasonings going on the outside here, so I want to keep as much of that as I can because that's going to make my pork taste real good. Now,
yes,
we're almost ready because I know you're getting hungry, right? Yep, salivating, I see it. Okay, well, I'm thinking that pickle you have going on over there is going to be a really nice topping to our pork carnitas.
Nice. It's got a jalapeno, it's got all kinds of stuff in there, oregano, right, culturally appropriate.
That's right, and I've got some tortillas waiting for us and a couple of more toppings. We are going to have a feast.
We're going to have fun.
All right, I think that we're going to start putting this together, and maybe we'll take a quick break and come back and plate, Carrie.
And eat too, right?
And eat.
Okay,
And eat.
we'll be right back. We'll be plating and eating. It's NOSH.
You're watching NOSH, brought to you by Fiore, artisan olive oils and vinegars.
Welcome back to NOSH. We're about to taste Lainey's wonderful carnitas and this thing that we don't know what to call it. So tell us about carnitas. What's a carnita anyways?
Well, so I'm making pork carnitas today, and basically a carnita is little bits of meat. Okay. So this is really popular like on the border of Texas and Mexico and down into Mexico. Okay. And you know, you'll see different variations. And what I'm going to do today is I'm actually going to add a little bit of black beans just to the base of my tortilla. And then I'm going to put in some of this beautiful pork that we just cooked a little bit earlier, our shredded little bits of meat, okay, our carnitas.
Oh, itas like small and carne, beef. Or,
yeah.
Okay, got it.
And then I'm going to top it with some of the usual suspects, okay? So I've got a little tomato, a little bit of jalapeno, and some onion. I have a little bit of avocado, or a lot of avocado.
That doesn't hurt.
Yeah. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of lime juice. I like to squeeze this on top of like the pork and the carnitas. I think this gives it a little bit of a kick. I'm not going to do too much because I want to leave plenty of flavor room for that nice pickling you've got going on over there.
Some of that over here?
Yeah, so give it some of that color. Oh, that's going to be great.
Look at that.
And again, what was the flavor that you used in the balsamic when you used that today?
It was the jalapeno balsamic, and then I put the oregano in it to give it kind of a cultural appropriateness for what we're doing here today.
And that's going to blend perfectly with these pork carnitas because we have a little bit of jalapeno, a little spiciness from the cumin going on in the pork, and then we also have a little bit of oregano in that flavor rub that we did.
Excellent.
I'm going to top it with a little bit of cilantro.
Always love the cilantro.
Yeah, and we've got a nice, beautiful pork carnita here. I'm going to make a few more of these, but Carrie, I want to know what you're going to do with that pickling that you did.
Oh my God, I don't know. Okay, so we're going to start off with the base, which we're going to do with this crispy beef. It's pulled beef, so the whole pulling thing is the same bit. Okay, so we're going to put some on the plate.
And you have a lot of nice dark coloring on yours. You reheated it in the pan. This would be great for leftovers too. If you have a little bit of pork or beef, you know?
Yeah, exactly. There are no leftovers. There are only new ingredients. So let's put the egg on top of there.
Oh, that is gorgeous.
Okay, so
Look
now
at
we're
that.
going to take some of this, the vinegar and the fat. It's always about fats and acids, and that's the balance that you're built for as a human being. So we're going to put some of this on either side.
Oh, man.
And then we're going to put some of this over on the other side.
So you're going to get this great flavor going on of this beef. The texture is crispy. You've got the egg going on, and then you just have that little bit of punch with that pickling there. I absolutely love that, Carrie.
And I'm stealing some of your cilantro. I hope that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there it is.
Yeah, but before we go, Carrie, I just wanted to say we need to thank Pat O'Brien from Fiore Artisan Olive Oils and Vinegars.
And remember, you can get all the NOSH episodes. Go to vstv.me and click on the NOSH link. You'll get to see us. And that's it for now. For a little of this.
And a little of that.
That's all. Okay, let's eat
That's
this
nice.
stuff.
Oh, yeah, let's eat.
NOSH, brought to you by Fiore, artisan olive oils and vinegars.